Welcome to our viewers in the United States and all around the world. This is New Day. Allison is off. Bianca Goladriga here with me all morning long.
Great to be here.
Great to have you here. We are following this developing news in the Gulf at this hour. Millions of people on the coast there preparing for a hurricane that is expected to trigger life-threatening floods, perhaps worse than we've seen in 7 decades. Hurricane warnings are in effect all along the Louisiana coast. The tropical storm watches stretch all the way east to the Mississippi-Alabama border. More than 10 million people are in the danger zone.
Tropical Storm Barry is intensifying right now in the Gulf of Mexico. The Mississippi River is already about twice as high as it usually is this time of year. Now, Barry is expected to become a Category 1 hurricane and make landfall tomorrow, creating a storm surge of 2 to 3 feet. That means a strong possibility of epic flooding. We will speak with the governor of Louisiana in just a moment. But let's get started with meteorologist Chad Myers, who is tracking the system. Chad, the fact that this is a slow-moving storm is very dangerous, correct?
It is. Plus the water that now it is over is 90 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's also the problem. We are now in the hot water, in the fuel to the fire. The wind speeds went up overnight to 50, and the pressure this morning with the Hurricane Hunter aircraft in it right now is going down. Those two things are bad. Here's the rainfall. It's offshore. That's the good news for now, but guess what? This entire bowling ball is going to move to the north. I know we've talked a lot about New Orleans, but I'm very concerned about Baton Rouge as well, all the way up to Natchez. This is going to be a widespread rain event with 10 to 20 inches of rain on rivers that are already out of their banks in many places, but it's the flooding possibility of the Mississippi that we're most concerned about. Now, most of this rain here will not go into the Mississippi River because of the levees. That water goes other places, but it's the rainfall just north of there and the rain that fell 3 months ago in Nebraska that has filled the Mississippi River, and then the surge making it 3 or 4 more feet high. That would be a 19-foot surge on the river, and everywhere here in New Orleans it's above 20, except for these little red dots, John. Not quite to 20 feet there, and with waves on top of that, there could be water, certainly over the top of some of these levees.
Again, so much reason for concern. Chad Myers, thank you for being with us. We'll let you get back to the data. We'll speak to you again with the new forecast at 8. Joining us now is the governor of Louisiana, John Bel Edwards. Governor, thank you so much for being with us. I've heard you say there are 3 major reasons for concern always of flooding in Louisiana. That's the rain, that's the rivers, and the storm surge, and you're going to get all 3 with this.
We are, and you know, the point was well made. We're in our 259th consecutive day of flood fighting on the Mississippi River. Tomorrow morning, we expect Tropical Storm Barry to come ashore in central Louisiana, along the central coast. That'll be the first time, and it'll come on as a hurricane. That'll be the first time we've actually had a hurricane hit Louisiana while the Mississippi River was at flood stage. And so that's a new dynamic. I will tell you that based upon the information we currently have from the National Weather Service with the storm surge in the river that we can expect, and talking to the Corps of Engineers, we are confident that there will not be overtopping of the levees in New Orleans. In fact, that has never been forecasted. The only forecast for overtopping was down in Lower Plaquemines Parish, and yesterday that forecast actually changed, and now we don't expect the Mississippi River levees to be overtopped anywhere. But this is going to be a very, very significant rain event across most of Louisiana. And the rain bands that are going to come in off of the Gulf of Mexico are going to be wide. And so this is going to impact just a huge swath of our state. And we are taking it extremely seriously. And I will remind everyone, in 2016, 56 of our 64 parishes were declared a major federal disaster because of flooding, and we didn't have a named storm at all. So I will tell you, this storm has our attention. We're doing everything that we can. We're gratified that the president last night granted our request for a pre-landfall federal disaster declaration, emergency declaration, and has authorized direct federal assistance so that working with our federal partners at FEMA and otherwise, we're going to be able to move resources and personnel much more quickly than would otherwise have been the case.
Obviously, so many people remember Hurricane Katrina. I don't have to tell that to you. There were so many changes made after the devastation there to the state, so many services put in, and mechanics like pumps. Are all the pumps working?
Yeah, well, the briefing I got late yesterday from the mayor was 118 out of 120 pumps. That's the most that we've had in a very, very long time. And the 2 pumps that are not working currently, there's much redundancy at those locations, and they're not the most essential. And the power generation is very good. I will tell you, with the investment made very generously, I might add, by the country in the hurricane risk reduction system in New Orleans, in that area, we feel very, very good about the situation of New Orleans, and we believe it's going to be able to withstand this storm. We got a good test day before yesterday when a very heavy rainfall happened in a very short period of time, and so we had to exercise all of those pumps and the power generation. It performed well, but at the same time, you never know exactly what Mother Nature's going to throw at you, and our capacity is to pump only so much rain over a period of time. So it's obviously something we're concerned about, but I'm confident that New Orleans is going to weather this storm in pretty good fashion.
All right, that's good. We'll be cautious, but that's good. Governor, any evacuations, and here's your chance. What message do you want to send to the people of Louisiana this morning about how to get ready?
Well, we do have some mandatory evacuations in Lower Plaquemines Parish and in low-lying areas of Jefferson Parish. I need the people of Louisiana to pay attention to the National Weather Service, to the information they get from CNN and elsewhere, but also pay attention to local elected officials and heed the warnings. Most fatalities in flood events in Louisiana in recent years have come from motorists who drive through standing water. When it's unsafe to do so, it's deeper than they believe it to be, and also there's current that sometimes is imperceptible. We need individuals to not drive through standing water, and I want the folks in Louisiana to know we're taking this very seriously. We've got 3,000 National Guardsmen activated with all of their equipment. We've got more than 300 buses standing by to move individuals to shelters, and we have opened a mega shelter in central Louisiana in order to take those individuals to safety. So we're taking this very seriously, and I do believe in the power of prayer as well.
Governor John Bell Edwards asking for any help you can get this morning. We'll let you get back to work. You're going to have a busy few days. Thank you, Governor.
Always so important.
We will. Thank you, John.
It's always so important that residents heed the warnings, right? That their local officials are giving out dire warnings in many cases.
And that's why they come on. I mean, that is why they work with CNN, and we're trying to get the message out to the people in Louisiana. Pay very close attention to this because these floods could be very serious.